Hi everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning member, welcome. It's been a while, it seems. How is your Libra season treating you all? Before we dive into the very brief Astrocap, I simply want to update you all. I know I've posted a little bit more infrequently. It seemed like when October started, the floodgates opened for just busyness. Everything just unloaded. If you can relate, let me know too. Just everything picked up and I had to take a step back. But this week I wanted to let you know the monthly zodiac sign readings for each sign for October. They will be coming out. I appreciate your patience and your support and checking in. I hope you all have been doing well. Let's get started. Again, we're still in Libra season. That's why I asked, how has it been treating you all? There have been so many revelations, a lot of processing, a lot of contemplation, and now it's time for action that's coming up, especially with Mercury and Pluto having gone direct very recently. Mercury on October 2nd, even though we're still in the shadow period until October 16th. I had said in my previous video, October 17th. It's October 16th when Mercury shadow period ends, and then Pluto went direct on October the 8th. So things are starting to come up into our realities, to settle, and there's a lot of things that we're realizing right now on in different areas of our lives that we need to take action on. There's a strong need to find balance, to stand up for ourselves, to do what is right. And this means tapping into our own wisdom, insights, intuitions in order to guide us. So some of you may have been feeling like, okay, I need some time to look at all things, both sides and different points until I can feel like I have all the information I need before I make a decision. But I feel with this energy this week, there's no more bending backwards for people, especially because relationships have been a key theme with this Mercury retrograde that we just ended, and also being in Libra season. A lot of different relationship dynamics are being highlighted, and I kept sensing it's about finding the I in the we, and to be very communicative, to be very forthcoming and emotionally expressive. There's no more keeping the cork in the wine bottle, if you will. That time has long gone, it's sailed. So the only major astrological transit, apart from some aspects that I want to talk about happening this week, Mercury is back in Libra. So it was in Libra earlier during Mercury's retrograde, then it ingressed into Virgo, and now it's back into Libra until October 29th. So it's almost a little bit lighter because with Virgo, even though it was at home in Virgo, you may have been more prone to analyzing things, to kind of being a little bit drier with communication, just wanting the facts. But with Libra, things are a little bit more outgoing, friendly. You may notice a lighter disposition, if you will. You may also find that relationships, you'll find more common ground, more compromising, in essence, diplomacy, right? That's one of the main tenets or features of the Libra sign. So this also takes into consideration with looking at both sides of the coin and also all angles, because Mercury in Libra likes to consider this before making decisions. So you may find yourself taking a little bit longer to decide on things, especially if it comes to communication, expressing yourself, and relationships. So expect an increase in your social group, in communication coming in. You may be getting messages from people that you have connected or been trying to connect with or sending messages to a while ago, and you're receiving messages now. So it's going to be like this for a few weeks. This could also help you with all this energy that's happening. This could help you find your way in the social setting, especially since we have been introverting and hermiting, if you will, for quite a bit of time with all of these planets in retrograde. There's been a deep need of going within. So now this transition point allows us to really start creeping out, testing what it is we've learned, what it is that we have been updated with, and seeing where is it that all of these different relationships, that all of these different events and things surround us in our realities. One aspect that I was interested in just looking at for a sec was Venus opposing Chiron. And Chiron right now, the wounded healer, is retrograding in Aries until December. So this aspect concerns relationships, and it's happening October 10th and also initiated yesterday. So this is really an opportunity to allow any wounds that are coming up, especially with relationships and with romantic partnerships, but since Venus rules over all relationships, this is open to any, to take a look at what things have been coming up, because we can't force relationships. Many of you may have been realizing that or finding that out. We can't force other people to love us, or we can't force ourselves to love or accept people that there's just no energetic link. And so who is coming to mind? What is being mirrored to us? Because repeated themes and wounds this week may give you more insight on what it is you may need to heal in general when it comes to relationships. So without further ado, we are going to move on to the weekly energetic reading, or energy reading. And let's get started. Wow. I know right now the moon is void of course, so it's just floating comfortably, perhaps, in its own bubble, and it will not ingress into any sign until later this afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, of course. So it'll affect everyone differently depending on which time zones you're at. It's going to be heading into Taurus today. So we're going to feel a shift into perhaps something dense, grounded, more practical matters. We may be feeling a weight, like there's something we need to do, but we may not know yet what it is we need to do. It's almost like when you feel like you have the answers that have washed up shore and you're like, okay, now what? It's that type of energy this week. Okay. Let's take a look and see what messages the universe has for us this week. What do we need to be aware of? What's happening? Nope. Okie dokes. I always look. Bottom of the deck. Enjoy success and happiness. Right around the corner. Okay. Oh my goodness. Just look what we have. Elder. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Just when Pluto went retrograde, because this concerns us. Lord. Take charge with authority. To me, this speaks of the full moon in Aries that we just had yesterday. You all, immediately I'm getting the energy right now. It's really opportune. It's really ripe for taking action on ancestral patterns, wounds, triggers that are coming up for you. This is an amazing time to start to unpack those, to heal them, if you will. But healing of any wound, I wish, doesn't happen in 24 hours or in the hour that we want it to. This could be a process, right? It could be an unpacking. You know, some people like wrap little gifts into bigger gifts and then bigger gifts. They're encased, almost like nesting dolls. It's like that. Sometimes when we heal our wounds, it comes in layers until one day there is no charge. There is no electric charge. It doesn't bother us. So you'll notice every time these wounds may come up, it impacts you less and less and less. With Pluto having gone direct, it was in Capricorn. It focused heavily on a lot of karmic contracts, but also family and ancestral wounds and patterns. And I know the full moon was opposing Chiron in retrograde. So again, more things that may have been triggering you. And this week, you may be feeling it. You may be processing it. You may just be realizing wow, these things have been coming up over and over again in my relationships. You see how determined they are? They're both holding on steadfast to a wand of sorts, a staff, a wand. And they're both looking straight at us. Do you see their eyes? There's like a knowing. And we have the Ram here, so this is definitely Aries energy. And again, these cards do not have zodiac sign attached. They're the Ancestors and Angels Oracle deck. You're being asked to take charge, to take action, to start doing something about these wounds, these traumas, these patterns that have been coming up. Many of you will acknowledge or will feel or have known for a long time that you are the healers of your lineage. We have turtle, armadillo, snake. It looks like some type of lizard. To me, this speaks of transformation, transmutation, boundaries, especially with the turtle and armadillo. They both have hard cases, you know, hard shells, hard external bodies. For some of you, this is highlighting the importance of boundaries this week, especially with other people. With this Aries energy, I'm immediately getting, it's about time that you let yourself be known, let yourself be heard, let yourself be seen in all of your relationships, at work, if you have a romantic partner or partnerships, with your family, with your friends, and with any other dynamic, that you don't lose yourself. There's a balance here. Look at this. Ironically, we have two rams, right? Aries sits on the opposite side of the wheel from Libra. So there's a need to balance yourself within relationships. But this contends also too with patterns, wounds, traumas that are coming up. And this is the time, this is the moment to heal them, because very soon, in about, what is it? In about 2 weeks more, give or take a few days, we're entering Scorpio season, and that's going to be the time for the death of things, of really releasing, of really realizing what it is that we truly want to stand in, to be in and convey, especially with people, but also with so many other parts of ourselves in our journeys. It's a shedding of a skin, of an old layer of ourselves, and reclaiming our power in a way. Because sometimes when we have wounds and patterns that have subsisted for a long time, it's a weight. It carries within us, you know, it stays within our, not just souls and DNA, but it carries on through the lineage. For some of you, these are going to be wounds and traumas that you're healing that have persisted through generations in your own family. Perhaps you're seeing it with your caretakers, maybe if it was your parents or grandparents, uncles and aunts, and other family. But in that same vein, also through the entire lineage. This is, I get a very Saturnian vibe here too. This is about doing the work. It's almost like putting your foot down and saying it's time for action. I get fire energy here with this too. Well, I mean, apart from the Aries energy I'm picking up, I get fire here. You have everything that you need within you to overcome this, to resolve this. And I know it can be very uncomfortable, it can be very scary. But you're being called to do this. You have the support of your ancestors. Many of you work with a lot of different animals as well. Call on your spirit animals. I'm getting by like end of October into Scorpio season, there's going to be a heavy burden released when it comes to something that you've been carrying. Perhaps this week, this is something you are fully acknowledging and realizing Like, no more of this. I can't do this. Okay, let's continue on. I want to say too, I feel like for quite a few of you that these are issues that you have been working through for a long time. And during this period, I'll say within the last 6 to 12 months, you have been working steadfast on this trauma, this inner work, these ancestral patterns to release. And you're going to feel that, like a lightness. I keep getting fire Scorpio season. It's almost like, what do they call it? It's like fire alchemy, but it's almost like transmuting it. You're going to feel a lightness, like a weight lift off of you. Because I know Saturnian influence can be quite heavy. Saturn rules Capricorn, and it's very much about doing the work. Don't bypass it, because the shit will come back again. Work through it once, and of course, things will unwrap themselves in different layers. Okay. What else do we need to know this week, please? Okey-dokes. Look, we got surrendering to the journey at the bottom, release control. Total Scorpio feature. We got distant thunder, clear the air. This week, it's all about acknowledgement, realization, acceptance, in as much as it is about letting go and resolving these things. I feel like this speaks to me. This speaks to really tapping into what you're feeling, especially when it comes to anything that's triggering you or any traumas, especially with relationships. Some of you have been looking outside of yourself, literally, but it's all within. You're going to know it and you're going to feel it. And some of these, I'm sensing this is more metaphorically, but you may have felt almost like you've had a weight on certain relationships in your life. I'm just picking up on spouses especially. So it could be husbands, wives, however you call them, people that are very close to you. These are intimate relationships, deeply intimate ones. They could be friendships too and family, but it's almost like with some people in your life, you may have been feeling a heaviness, an uncertainty of how to move from that situation, from a certain experience that happened, from repeating patterns. Like, how do you get out of this cycle? Things are coming to a head. And I feel like with this full moon, if many of you haven't felt it already, I feel like in the following 2 weeks, you're going to feel this energy unfold. I felt it last week leading up to the full moon, just like a pressure. And it's almost like you want to stand on top of a mountain and be like, no fucking more. And I say it with, usually I'll say effing, but I had to say the F word because of the amount and the immense energy that I'm feeling right now of like, done, I'm done. Because with this energy, especially Aries, it's like, no more. I'm taking charge of my life. I am cleaning up, whether they're patterns or situations, beliefs, whatever they are. I'm cleaning this area or areas of my life up right now because I'm not carrying this forward. This is the end of a cycle for so many. I don't feel like there's anything to fear. This is simply things, to me, it could signify for some disagreements, lack of harmony in your, I keep getting relationships, you all, but in certain areas of your life, particularly relationships. But I also feel like this is processing and working through your own inner work. And this is going to allow you to lift this weight off of you, to feel lighter. Almost like graduating from a level of Earth School, right? From a course. There's a sense of freedom. But this also means communication. Some of you are going to have to communicate your own needs here. Speak up, because some of these patterns that you're working to resolve and going through right now, you can't just do it to yourself. You can't just say, okay, I got it. I am good. My boundaries are these, for example, and things are going to go well. You actually have to communicate it to other people, especially those that you know are infringing, that are violating your boundaries, or more so that you're allowing this to happen. So there's a need to clear the air. And for some, this is not going to go in the way that you anticipated. Some people may not accept it, but you're going to know right away whether these people really support you or not. Because boundaries, it's a huge test, actually. When you change something about the way people can have access to you, or something that you provide to them, and they don't like it and they don't respond in the way that you thought they would, namely they respond in an adverse way, maybe negative, that's indicative of the role you played in their life or lives and what they thought that they could have or take from you. Damn. That's why I feel like you got to follow your intuition. I keep getting that. This is all within you. You're going to know instinctively, and this is going to be the most difficult part, because releasing people is something that humans have had to learn to differentiate between, love and attachment with any relationship. Wow. Okay, let's continue on. This is, I forgot the name, the Numinous Astro deck. We'll see if we can get any additional insights here. You guys, relationships have simply been on key, just on par in the last several months. And I feel like all of this has been leading up, because this is a time for standing in your truth and not wavering for others. Because if you do, you may reinitiate cycles again with the same people and invite other people. This is about learning these repeated patterns that have been coming up for you. Obviously, since we have ancestral patterns here, these have long existed in your lineages for some of you, and something you may have been dealing with for a long time. And we've got eclipses coming up at the end of the month. I almost said year. Well, close. We're in the last quarter of 2022. But with all this clearing away energy, this is Scorpio. Okay. What else? What other messages do we need to know for this week, please? Okie dokie. Bottom of the deck, we got Pisces, the Mystic. So some of you watching may be or resonate with Pisces or have strong Pisces placements in your chart, or 12th house energies perhaps. We have Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius, the radical. So at the bottom, I'll put it up so you all can read it. Experimental, rational, unique, liberal, electric, group-oriented, humanitarian, free, radical, eccentric, diverse, futuristic, utopian, idiosyncratic, disruptive, edgy, detached. Look at this. This is a way with this card. And at the bottom with Pisces is about connecting to your spirituality, to the unknown, right? And I'll put it up here so you guys just can read it. I'm not going to go through it, but this is really about tapping into your own intuition, your own psychic abilities, especially if you're cultivating them. I kept getting that earlier. You're going to get the next moves, if you will, right? The next moves to this whole game. And I'm not diminishing that when I say game, but to these different experiences or cycles that you're going through right now. So be very open to messages that you're getting. With this Aquarius energy, there's a radically new way that you're going to be doing things, the way you're going to be operating in your relationships, in your life in general, in what you do. It's like, no, I'm not bowing down. I'm not allowing myself to get lost in other people. I'm not taking on other people's shit. This is me. Take it or leave it. Doesn't mean that you're going to be gruff, be unkind, or be selfish, not at all. But many of you are at this point, at this juncture in your life where you're like, this is it. I'm healing this shit. I'm not repeating these patterns. I'm not attracting another relationship, in any relationship, I'll say, that is essentially not the relationship I want. So I'm going to ask, what is it that you need to do differently to get a different outcome that you haven't been doing before? And this could be something as simple as, I need to speak up. I need to actually express my grievances with people this week. I actually need to let people know, hey, what you just said like 5 seconds ago, that's not okay. I don't appreciate it when you say that or do that, or when you, whatever it is. There's something here that requires a different approach, a different shift. Not doing things the same way we've done before. This is literally the beat to your own drum type of energy. For some of you, I'm getting that have been in partnerships. These are romantic now that I'm getting romantic and friend. For some family, but romantic and friendships. Let me do the romantic part first. Some of you are not happy in your existing relationships right now. There's like a disconnect. I feel like some of you may have been trying, and it's almost like taking 2 puzzle pieces that are not meant to fit together. They don't fit. They're just, one is like the end piece, that has the curves. The other one is in the middle with all the little open edges, and they're just not going together. No matter how many times you try, no matter which way that you turn it, it doesn't work. Some of you are meant to take some time away from romantic partnerships and get to know yourself. This Aries energy is really about being comfortable in who you are, not allowing others to subsume you, to eat you alive, in other words, or allow yourself to be eaten alive in relationships. This speaks to codependency and enmeshment. Again, I'm getting strong boundary issues here. For those in friendships, I feel like some friend groups are falling apart. Because you may feel like perhaps there's a few others in your friend groups, but you may feel like you no longer connect, that you're different. And it's more than likely due to your own growth and development, as well as others. We don't all grow in the same way or at the same rate. And sometimes that disconnection, especially with friends, that synergy, it's no longer there. And you can't force things, which is what I said earlier in the Astrocap, especially since we have Venus opposing Chiron, which is retrograde in Aries this week. You can't force anything to happen, because as we all know, when you force something, it goes to shit. Things either happen and work and they flow, right? Or they don't. So think about this week, how you can do things differently, especially with things that haven't been working, because you're being called to tap into this Aquarius energy, to tap into doing things a little bit unique. This entails taking on a more creative approach, eccentric, innovative, right? Aquariuses are ruled by Uranus. So it's about destroying, completely blazing. Am I saying that right? Bulldozing, not blazing. Bulldozing the old and being like, you know what? This is what I'm going to try. This is what I'm going to do. Before, maybe I used to text people, but you know what? That's not working, because people get confused when I text them. They think that I'm yelling, or they think I'm doing this, or they take it this way. No, I'm going to call people. So it's that type of approach where you're like, what can I do differently, especially when it comes to relationships, but also in any part of my life that's not working? What can I do to move beyond this? This is powerful. Okay. We're going to go into tarot right after this. We're going to pull a soul journey card. Have you noticed when you do something over and over again and you don't get results? Sometimes we're like, yeah, we're going to keep doing it again. And there's that quote, there's that saying, what is it about? It's insane, or there's an insanity to doing things over. Comment down below if you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll have to look that quote up. Maybe I'll use it for the title of this week's weekly energy reading. But literally, this is the message that I'm getting. It's time to do things differently than you've done before, because that's going to be the key to not only moving beyond these ancestral patterns, to healing these wounds coming up, but to keeping yourself whole, authentic, and true to you in all of your relationships. Bottom of the deck, we got failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I said this before a few times this week to some folks. Bob Ross, the painter, among many other things that he did, he said there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. So anything that you may deem as failure this week, whether it's a breakup or a job loss or a rejection of some sort of any kind, redirect that and be like, you know what? The universe has something even more amazing for me. What can I learn from this situation that I've just experienced? Because this is bringing you to a whole new level. We got denial. Whoa, I immediately get sacral. I get sacral and solar plexus, even though solar is yellow generally, but I get both. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So be very careful this week. For those of you that may not want to face the truth, because Aries is about the truth. Aries will make you see things you don't want to see. Same with the Saturn energy that I'm feeling. When we have things that are not harmonizing or harmonious in our lives, especially with other people or situations or environments like work cultures, work places, or schools, it's easy to be like, you know what? I'm going to try again, or I'm going to take a step back or give the benefit of the doubt, essentially. But you've got to acknowledge something too, because sometimes when we feel something, when we know things are not in congruency, when relationships are no longer congruent, and this is the difficult part, because no matter how long you have been with someone, and it tends to happen with people we've been together with longest, and specifically I'm getting again romantic partnerships here. You guys, maybe this is because it's Libra season. Venus is completely in her element. Venus is in Libra right now. It just Mercury ingressed into Libra, and we're in the sun. The sun is in Libra, you guys. Shadow period of Mercury is still here, guys, so bear with me. Thank you so much for your patience. It's easy to say, no, I don't think there's anything wrong, because we're comfortable, right? When we stay in our comfort zones where it's safe. The thing is, sometimes the things that we're trying to stay in, they're not meant for us. And deep down, we know that. So be careful about that. If you find yourself trying to make something work when you no longer feel it, remember, pay attention to your body. Pay attention to how you're feeling. Mind, body, soul, but you're going to feel it a lot in your body when you're with someone. People are coming up a lot, guys. That's why my examples are about people a lot for this weekly forecast. But if you have a friend that you've been with for a long time and you go out for coffee, for example, and you're just like not feeling it, you're not excited, you go and it's just like you're just left kind of feeling numb, and you're like, what's going on? It may be time to re-examine things. So be careful. It's okay to be in denial. It's simply the flip side of awareness. What do I need to be aware of? Just something there's a lot of things that you're being called to step outside your comfort zone, and that may be literally uncomfortable for people, because it's going to be something new. It's going to be something different, and it's going to feel very different, very foreign. Okay, let's grab some cards. Let's see what other messages we can get for this week. This has certainly been a week with people. I'm just telling you that. Last week, it felt like an explosion of literally like a huge storm. That's how my October started. Anyone else? It was all quiet before. And the first week, it was just like everything just happened. Messages that you were waiting to get, boom, they all came like at the same time. I couldn't believe the energy, how forceful it felt. Things literally just culminated and then erupted. But things happen like that because sometimes these shifts are necessary to make us realize what it is that we didn't see before and how we need to restructure things differently in our lives moving forward. Ooh. Okay, one more shuffle and then we're going to pull the cards and end this. You guys, screw that. My shuffling game is off. Hold on. Okay, ready? Like I have to say ready to my own self. What messages does the universe have? What else do we need to know this week, please? Okay. I felt some cards turning. Nope. Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Decisions, choices here. Ooh, this one slid. Okay. We got Five of Cups. This is water. Let me put these cards up here. King of Swords, Libra energy. The Chariot in reverse, Cancer. Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Earth. Nine of Swords in reverse, Air. And Two of Pentacles in reverse. I almost said work. Earth. Yeah, there's a lot of releasing happening, letting go of things that led to disappointment that are no longer working for you. There's a strong need for boundaries too with the King of Swords. You see the mountains? You guys, there's a lot of mountains. I feel like there may have been conflicts you all are overcoming. You see the mountains here? Conflicts you may have been overcoming, realizations. This to me also speaks of strength, tremendous strength and resiliency, because when you forge a mountain, you have to be very persistent, perseverant, committed. But there's a realization here that some of you are cutting people out. Literally, you're leaving, you're releasing people. It's not there anymore. And it's a sad truth. I'm getting a very detached King of Swords. I mean, that's normally the energy surrounding this figure, but it's almost like a sadness, like a wanton feeling, like I keep getting like forlorn, like remembrance and nostalgia. You may be feeling that and remembering. Some of you may have romanticized or idealized people in your life in these connections that I'm getting. You may have put them on a pedestal or may have seen people in a different light than what they were in the last, I'll just say in the recent unfolding of energies that have come. And when I say this, I mean everything that has happened, you know, with astrology, with life, with your soul journey, with so many things surrounding us. Some of you have seen the truth. You know, it's interesting. The colors to me represent truth. You see the flowers and there's like a colored, I don't know what it is. It almost looks like a bowl of cereal, but I don't think it is, with different colors. Some of you have seen true colors of people. And it just left you feeling like, what the F? Literally. But also feeling very disappointed and a whole host of emotions. But you know what? You have your self-dignity because there's one of these cups that are still full. You've got your sword, and some of you have been literally cutting out people. You're very much guided by your spirit guides. A lot of animals. Look at this. We got it here with the ancestral patterns. Again, armadillo, snake, lizard, turtle. And we have it here as well with the crow or raven, dragonfly, bat, and owl. So again, wait, we had an owl here, didn't we? Did we have an owl here? Okay, no, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Really trust your insights, your intuition. More importantly, trust what you're feeling. So some of you, again, this is coming out of, I feel like there's a retraction in your energy of like, okay, I just need a timeout for a sec, a step back. I don't want to do anything. I'm not charging forward towards anything yet. I just need to take a step back and just allow this to marinate. And this is what's going to happen this week. Or take it as you will, because we're all on different timelines. But the energy I'm feeling is immediately step back. I need to just literally stand here and just integrate what it is that has just happened with people, with situations, with things leaving my life. I can't make any decisions yet. And so some of you are just taking a time out to allow yourself to absorb all of this. There's a need for rebalancing as well. So some of you are going within to work. I feel like a lot of it is pointing to your own internal self. There may be a retraction on your part towards people. Ironically, even though we just had Mercury go into Libra, I feel like this week it's almost like a warm-up period. I'm going to, oh my goodness, you guys, my words are like, clarify, thank you. Clarify the Chariot. I'm getting like big energies with relationships. So some of these people that you have cut out of your life or will be cutting out. And this could also resonate like in reverse. People may have cut you out, but I strongly feel like this is your energy that you're taking towards others. There's a time period of kind of reflecting. Even if you didn't want to, there's a need to allow yourself to process everything before you continue on your journey. Otherwise, those emotions, those feelings, that energy can stay within you and stagnate and just stay and keep you blocked. Can we clarify the Chariot card, please? We got the Two of Swords. Yeah, again, like I said with the Two of Pentacles when I saw this in reverse, but I feel like this time you may be taking a step back, perhaps reassessing your relationships and those that you have released, that you have cut off, or that you have enacted really strong boundaries with people that you thought were going to respond in a certain way with you. There's like a loss here. I'm feeling a loss of this connection or these connections that you thought were different. So yeah, with the Chariot, I feel like to me this speaks of balancing. This is about communicating too, balanced communication and reciprocity. For some of you, because the King of Swords is a master with communication. They are very assertive. And for some of you, asserting yourself to others was your way and is the way to equalize, to harmonize, to balance that relationship. But some people didn't respond in that way, or are not very keen, or don't want to. Okay, we're going to pull 2 final cards and end this. There's like a refocus on, like a redirection right now. Some of these relationships were pivotal in your life. So this may have caused a temporary take a step back and let me repivot, if you will. Repivot, relook, re-examine on where I am going to next. Can we get any messages, please, from the Pleiadians? I also want to say boundaries again. I know this is usually not the interpretation, the traditional interpretation for Two of Swords. I keep getting boundaries with the swords. Boundaries have been a huge learning lesson for some of you, for quite a few of you out there. And that may have been what put some relationships to death, metaphorically. This counterpart, whether it was a friend, family, or romantic partnership, or even someone at work, they didn't like that. Even though that was intentionally setting boundaries is what leads to balance and to harmony and to enjoy mutual reciprocity, but some people don't like it. We got your heart is overflowing with love. You all, before doing this reading, I always prep myself with a meditation, and I did meditation focus specifically on the heart chakra. I was feeling guided to completely. So this is so synchronistic. Deep cleansing. Oh my gosh. Again, with the heart. And to me, this speaks to blue too with the throat chakra. There's a cleansing when it comes to our heart space. But I feel like this speaks to relationships. There's a new way of doing things. It's no more doing the things that have been done traditionally, but moving away, right? It's tapping into this Aquarius energy, which is all about community too. Aquarius rules, you know, friendships, groups, communities. But it's not losing yourself, because Aquariuses stand out. They are also air signs. They beat to their own drum. You know when you've met an Aquarius, because there's something different about them. It's really neat. They stand out. Their energies are very unique. Yeah, some of what I've discussed really touches and connects to romantic partnerships. I'm getting strongly. Some people have gone their separate ways, knowing that they did so with love for one another, but knowing that that person, it wasn't energetically a fit anymore. Lessons were learned. This is a time for a deep restoration. Again, whenever we do work with any wounds or traumas, it's a cleansing, because you're releasing it. It's a form of releasing. When we release that pattern, things change, because we no longer use that belief system that we have absorbed from our own lineages to operate in this world. You're being called to connect to yourself and to have a lot of self-compassion, self-love, to hold space for yourself, especially during these times, as you're continuing to healing, as you're continuing to make sense of a lot of shifts and changes that have happened, especially with relationships. But there's a renewal here. That's the thing. When people leave your life, right? When people decide to leave because they don't like what you've said, what you've enacted with boundaries, what you've expressed, more people are coming. So just wait. Hold on tight. We're going to pull a final animal spirit card for this week. Can we get a final message, please? Ooh. I'm trying not to allow that card to fall. We got sea otter, happiness at the bottom. Okie dokes, we got wolf, pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You guys, so much Fool card energy here. So many, I get like Aries energy about starting anew, because the Fool card is Mars energy, first card of the tarot. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Holy shit. I feel like this card summarized so many points, so many things that I was feeling in this weekly reading. Dolphin, play. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom, go with the flow. We saw that in one of the soul journey cards. Some of you are about to start brand new cycles, brand new journeys with people. I sense more people are going to be coming your way very shortly. Some of you may have recently met new folks. But this is all part of the lesson, part of your soul's lessons. When we meet other people, not everyone stays in our lives. This is such a beautiful message. Some of you have been on this path for a while. Some of you are literally lone wolves, I'm getting. But I feel like you will be connecting again. Look, there's 3 dolphins here. It speaks of community. Some of you are going to be connecting pretty quickly as soon as you release. Watch it. Watch it, how this goes. As soon as you release the energy or energies around you, watch how quickly things shift and materialize, and you're going to start finding new people that you resonate for this next cycle. You all, I hope this reading resonated for someone out there for this week. It's been a doozy of a few months, I'll say. And this month is going to be hugely transformative because we've got a few more retrogrades happening and planets coming into stationary. So with that, I want to thank you again for being here with me. I'd love to know how your, I'll just say, journey is going. Are you guys experiencing more challenges, more acknowledgements, more realizations or truths in certain areas of your life? I know I have. People have been at the forefront for me. So this totally resonates, but in so many ways, it's also with everything that has been going on. I'm wishing you a beautiful, peaceful week. I hope you can find yourself some time for you, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much and take care.